Hey you guys, it's your girl Makai and I'm back at it again with another one. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the missing Native American women that go missing. I wouldn't say every day, but there are a lot of cases out here that are missing Native Americans, and some of them are not even reported. There's researchers that say that some of the cases are not even in the database. They're not even in the system. Like, they're completely missing. They're completely gone. Like, there's nothing about them except that there's a missing person. And so some cases, like, they're not even reported and that we just know nothing about it. And unfortunately, you know, with this case that I'm about to tell you guys, we see that families and Native American women, they really do not have a voice at all. Like, you don't even see it out in the media. Like, you see your blacks and whites and you see some minority groups, but man, I don't remember the last time I've seen a Native people covering a Native American woman. And of course you have your whites and you have your blacks, because of course they want to make it look like, oh yeah, we do minorities, we cover them, they have. So you don't hear anything about Native Americans. Even Trump administration had put out a group, or made it where a group of people were to start investigating, because there was a period a few years ago where there was just a certain time where just a bunch of missing Native American women were just going missing, like in the same period of time in Montana. And that's where you'll see a lot of these cases. They happen in Montana, in these places where there is racial injustice, where, it goes back to history and how the Native Americans, what they did back then to them, they're still doing it today. It's just under wraps. It's just a new form, a new system that they have. And so the Native American, like I said, man, they really don't get any type of voice. Like, the media picks and chooses, and these people really their backs are up against the wall, because the police are not, like, nobody is helping them. They're getting nowhere with it. Like, they have to go out on their own and try to get attention and media coverage, and they're still fighting against powers that be that are powerful, and we still don't hear about them. And so here we are for K-Syria. Now, like I said, every race gets kidnapped. I believe every race gets kidnapped, even white people. Every race gets kidnapped. What I'm trying to point out is the injustice of how the Native American women are being treated, even black women. There are many cases, black women and Native American, and I think the minorities, they're the most cases of women and children missing, of people of color missing. Those are the most who are missing in the United States. And most of them are not reported. Most of them are literally mysteries. They are literally just hidden, and there's nothing, like, nobody's covering it. There's nothing there to show this person missing. And they love, once again, there's a pattern. They love to write off these people as runaways, or they're out partying, or prostitutes. I know I seen one case where the woman was involved in prostitution, and the police, her family was saying that they didn't really want to investigate, because how they go about with prostitutes, and oh, she's just a victim to that, and that's why she's gone. But they don't investigate. They don't at least give the right respect as they would to their own, as they would to Gabby Petito. Because I don't know if you guys know the case of Gabby Petito, but a few years ago when she went missing, I mean, all hell broke loose. I mean, you got your investigators, the FBI, everybody searching for this woman and what happened to her. And this is the time where all these Native American women had gone missing, and none of them were, I mean, you had a little bit of coverage, but none of them were to the extent of Gabby Petito. So you see the pattern in these cases, and how there is injustice there, and stuff like that for these Native American women. So I'm going to be going over K-Syria, and like I said, black women are too. Like, black women and children and African American women And people, they're also going missing and not being reported. They're not being taken seriously. They label them as runaways, just like Javion McGee, who just got lynched. Even though they have not done an investigation, they do this all the time. They do not, like, all of a sudden when they find the body, they tell the parents and they rule them as suicide, or they rule them as a runaway. Like, automatically, there has not been any investigation, no medical examiner, nothing. They're already trying to force their narrative. I wonder why, because they must know something. Why are you making that claim and trying to force that narrative? You know, it's like, but like I said, they label them automatically as runaways, most of these cases, when they have not done a proper investigation. So, or sometimes they don't even, they're missing. They don't even investigate, just like with this case. So K-Syria, let's see. Now this is from the website from her family's website that they made for her. It says, when we reported K-Syria missing, law enforcement indicated there was no need to search for her. She'd just be partying somewhere. Unbelievably, all of our family and friends had to start searching for K-Syria ourselves because law enforcement refused to search for her. Then we found out that Bighorn County already knew that K-Syria had been found dead in Hardin, Montana, for 14 days before they told the family. And even once K-Syria has been found, Bighorn County did not begin substantial investigation for over a month. And to this day, there has never been a missing person report filed. And it says, here are some case updates. K-Syria and her family are still without justice since her murder. The FBI, Bighorn County Sheriff's Office, and the Montana Department of Justice have done nothing to undertake a criminal investigation. We will not stand for this. Law enforcement must be held accountable. The family has listed their demands to law enforcement and state and federal officials below. So they start to demand what they want to see out of the FBI, law enforcement, the Sheriff's Office of Montana, where they live, and the United States in general, overall the system. So, you know, we see that they didn't investigate. They did not do the proper protocols as they did at Gabby Petito. They did not send out dogs and gather, you know, they didn't do that. They didn't do anything with this, but I wonder why. So going back to her case, so yes, she was murdered. And so this is what I believe happened. And it's out there that supposedly a few days, just a few days, not weeks, a few days before she was murdered, that she posted on her social media that, and of course I can't find it today, but she posted on her social media of how her brother they were at a fair, that her brother was getting beat up by law enforcement, and her brother was a minor, he was 15. So they were harassing and targeting her brother. She recorded this, posted it online, and a few days later, she ends up dead. And the investigation of the attorney or somebody who was looking into the case, because they have gone back, like I said, Trump has put some type of mandate out to investigate. So these people are trying to investigate now and go back and see what happened. But they, one investigator said that the police that found her body, or the passenger, the guy who was just passing by, who just found her body, was the same police officer. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I'm not laughing. It's not a laughing matter. It's just crazy to me. It's really crazy to me. And it's plain as day what these people are doing. And it's, yeah. So the police that was in the video, who was, you know, one of the deputies that were harassing her brother, was also the one that ended up finding her, or was the first to be reported to the scene. Or I think they kept saying that it was someone who was just passing by, going through the city, that found her body. But one of the deputies that were involved in that situation with her brother was supposedly the one that was at the scene, first to the scene when they found her body and reported it. So, you know, I really feel like that is the reason, you know, that's what's going on, you know, and these people, that's why they don't want to investigate. And majority of the time, that's what I want to try to find, these cases where they're not investigating, because usually when they don't investigate, at this point, it's predictable. It's predictable of what, you know, what they're doing. So, and the ones that they don't want to investigate are the ones that they never report, or they don't, you know, media is not covering it, or they try to, they hide stuff, you know, and stuff like that. It's not being reported or not being recorded under the database. Like right here, it says that a researcher, it says researchers said they examined 100, okay, this is just 105 cases. Now, there are a lot of cases out there that are missing Native Americans that have been unsolved, not looked into, and nothing being done about it. They're just there. So researchers said they examined 105 cases of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls from the region and found that 62% of cases were never included in any official missing persons database. 74% of the cases had no public documentation relating to the manner of death, whether charges were filed or a suspect or a person of interest was found, and 56% of cases don't mention or make public the victim's tribal affiliation. So there is no type of nothing there, just that this woman is missing. Nothing. No investigation, nothing. Nothing's there. If it was nothing, nothing is there. And so this happens too a lot in Wyoming, Montana, you know, up there in the really Native American reservations. And if I'm not mistaken, Bighorn is actually the place where, you know, if we learned I learned it back in school, our history class, you know, the great massacre that occurred at Bighorn with the Native Americans and the white people. So it does have a lot of, let me look that up real quick. Yeah. So the Battle of Little Bighorn is taking place where all of these women are going missing. And that was against the Native Americans and the settlers who came over and tried to overtake them and force them into basically slavery too. The Native Americans also were being oppressed and going through it too, just like the blacks. And so they're doing the same thing today. There's still a lot of underlying prejudice still there, just like down in the South. It's still there in the Montana Bighorn. I think Montana Bighorn, right? Yeah, Montana Bighorn. So they're still, yeah, they still got it going on down there still. See, history has not gone away with. Like it's still here. That's what I was saying in my other video, like black people, you know, what they did to the black people and the children, they took their families, they took the children away from their families and scattered them. They took the children literally from the hands of their parents and stuff. And I feel like that's just a form of these missing children that are going missing today, that they're not investigating or doing anything about it, because they're allowing, you know, they're allowing this, what is like what happened back in the day. These diabolical people. So it's sad. It's really, really sad. But that's the importance of having a covenant with the Most High. You know, unfortunately, these people, you know, this happens majority to people who do not, these curses and things come upon us or, you know, people when you're not protected by the Most High. And so it's important to be protected by the Most High, because then you can avoid all of these things. These are the things that God talks about in His Word, that He will protect you from, that He will keep you from the evil and the dangers of the world, the diabolical people, the evil, the enemy. He says He will keep you from that. So that's why, you know, it all ties back. All these videos that I'm doing, it all ties back to God too, and how He is trying to, you know, wake up people and get people to understand, like, you know, to get rid of this evil and to get right with Him so that we can get rid of it. But hey, you know, you guys, I just wanted to go over that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I answered. If you guys have any questions or anything you want to leave down below, please leave them down below. And like and subscribe, share. I will talk to you guys. Oh yeah, follow me on my social medias. And I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.